Welcome back, everybody. I listen to the Discus Lariat Collective podcast. I'm your host, Braun, here with Daryl. So today we're going to run down what happened on Raw last night. Let me see. Before we get into it, wherever, if you're watching this on YouTube, give us a like, drop a comment, let us know what you thought of Raw last night. Wasn't my favourites anyway last night, but we'll get into that now. Yeah, we'll just start rattling into it, I suppose. So, in terms of Raw leading into WrestleMania, I think one thing they're actually after shooting themselves in the foot with is how close Fastlane is to WrestleMania this year. That's what I feel is kind of hindering everything in the bigger picture for WrestleMania. I think usually Fastlane's a few weeks before Mania. This one feels like it's literally like Fastlane's this weekend, and then Mania I think is in 2 weeks. That kind of thing. It's very
tempting.
Yeah, and they have fuck all booked for WrestleMania. And you have Fastlane that they're only starting to book now. So there's your issue, I feel. In terms of the show itself last night, started off all right. Like I didn't mind Lashley in the ring. Don't mind the whole promo thing. What else do we have? We had Drew McIntyre coming down. Cut a pretty good promo as well, called Lashley a big bald bitch. I'm a fan of it. I'm a fan of it.
I take that very offensive.
I just love the alliteration. It just rolls off the tongue, big bald bitch.
It does.
Yeah, I would have thought it would have been pretty cool though if Lashley just had a kind of laughed it off, looked away almost, and then cracked him in the head. It would have been kind of a statement of intent, like you can't get away with that. Do you know what I mean? Whatever though, it was pretty good kind of opening segment. We were just chatting about it just there before we came on here. It was a bit of a pain in the arse that they kind of announced the main event for WrestleMania. Just off the back, they were just like, oh yeah, so by the way, Lashley's defending the championship against Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. Whereas you literally have Fastlane this Sunday with Sheamus against Drew McIntyre. You could have just said it was a number one contendership kind of match, do you know what I mean? But again, I was saying as well before we came on, I feel like they just gave that away mainly because one, there's that kind of whole COVID outbreak in NXT and stuff like that. That's probably after moving on to the main roster. They're all fairly close contact, you know what I mean? So maybe WWE are thinking, you know what, we'll give them something to look forward to because we're going to change the date tickets go on sale. That's my opinion on that issue anyway. Again, I don't mind they announced it, but it just felt very random, just pure out of the blue, like, do you know what I mean? Especially when you have a big match, the main event of Fastlane between Drew and Sheamus. They're both in the title picture, really, like, do you know what I mean? Bit strange.
Do you think that's going to close the WrestleMania? That's going to be the last match of it?
I think it's going to be night one. I think it'll be night one. I think they're going to have Edge close WrestleMania. That's my guess.
Yeah, hopefully, because I know what Raw being the main brand or whatever, sorry, call it.
Yeah.
I just think that would be an absolute shocker to go. Nothing against the two lads. I think they're great, but I'm just not invested in either.
Yeah, like
I'm not invested in them enough to be like they're my main event guys. They're like the likes of Drew and Bobby, amazing, but they're not on the caliber of the likes of Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Undertaker, Stone Cold, all the likes of these guys, John Cena.
Yeah,
that are right. This is how we're going to close Mania on one of these matches. They're not that match isn't going to be remembered like at all. It's just going to be like a Raw match, standard Raw match to me.
Yeah. I feel you because that's kind of the vibe that the whole card is giving off right now. WrestleMania and even Fastlane. It feels like, especially the way Raw was booked last night, we'll go into one of the title changes as well now in a sec. That was just very kind of out of the blue to happen on an episode of Raw. It felt more like that should be a pay-per-view issue, and it feels a bit kind of like I used the word earlier, slapdash or just thrown together. It just feels a bit mad. Like everything's kind of put into a big mixing pot here, and they're just pulling stuff out. And I think that's like I've seen a few reports saying Vince just wants to be surrounded by yes men right now. He's kind of pushing people away. He's probably nervous about WrestleMania right now. The fact he has literally nothing concrete bar the two title matches really. Like at first, before this match was announced, I thought maybe Bianca Belair and Sasha would close one night, and Edge and Roman would close another. I thought they would have gave the rub to SmackDown and then have the other title matches maybe open the show because that's a big kind of moment as well. Do you know what I mean? Again, we'll see going forward, but after the main promo anyway, of the opening promo of the night, we had Miz against Drew McIntyre. Not a bad match, just a safe match kind of thing. I mean, standard. Yeah, nothing really to write home about. They had like a funny instance as well where they were like, oh, I forgot Miz was even standing there. Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing. He feels like almost a comic relief character there. I think his role in this whole thing is finished now, though, after that match, because it led into later on then with the whole Bad Bunny situation. But in terms of what I liked about Raw last night, I'm just going to touch on the stuff I liked, and then we'll chat about that, because if we go on about what we didn't like, we'll be here all night. So in terms of matches, so we had what you call it? I just said him. Drew McIntyre against Miz. Didn't mind it. All right. Didn't really set the pace for the night. You know what I mean? I kind of did in terms of sloppiness, I suppose, but that's about it. Then let me see what else we had. The Raw Tag Team Championships. This match was deadly. It was the Horror Business against New Day. I didn't mind it. Like, I loved the match. Again, all four guys, guaranteed a good match when all four of them are in the ring. Do you know what I mean? Workhorses, I suppose. And then tag team chemistry. New Day have it. Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin have shown they actually have that, and that's why the finish was a bit of a sham, to be honest. Didn't like that the New Day picked up the championships. I don't mind that they're 11-time champions now. That doesn't really bother me. But again, we are chatting about it earlier. They've had their time in the sun. Why not? Like, even if you think about it, like, we have Fastlane on the weekend. Why just give that away on free telly? Like, do you know what I mean? It felt a bit strange. I don't agree with it. I feel like the Horror Business have been on a tear lately. They've been one of the main things, literally, I'd say top two things that kept me watching through the whole pandemic era. The Horror Business, like, all four of them. They're just so entertaining, all great in the ring. And I feel like it's just a blow off there, do you know what I mean? And you said it yourself, actually, if you want to touch on that about what you think is going on with that.
Yeah, I know, I think everybody is on the Hurt Business side. Like, I don't think there's a lot of people that don't like them. For the last year, they've been going in the right direction. And it's just, I feel like now, this era, it's like, these are the new evolution. I know you love, like, factions having all the gold. Yeah. And I do agree. Sometimes I don't agree with that, but yeah, in this instance, I do. Shelton Benjamin's touching on, but him and Cedric Alexander, they were great together. It's to push Cedric Alexander that little bit more. And I just feel like they're just not confident in them, and which is hurtful, to be honest. Like, they're amazing. And it's just like, oh no, we haven't got confidence in you. We have confidence in you for getting us through the whole year and putting on great matches, but we're not confident in you of putting on a show at WrestleMania. So sorry. And then we're just going to give it to the New Day, because I know we're touching on one of our top fives about Ring Attire. The Ring Attire that they had last night was phenomenal. Yeah, they are great wrestlers, but just give someone else a chance to be put over, especially with the fans back this year. I think this would have been a great time to push the likes of the Hurt Business. Yeah, like, everybody's seeing the New Day. They should have given this chance now to the Hurt Business. If it fails, fine. Yeah, that's fine, right? We'll move on, but we know, right, we gave it a chance. We're not just sticking to the same formula that they go with nearly every year for the last 6 years? Yeah, literally. More? Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, disappointed in it, to say the least. But the outfits that the lads had on last night, a little touch of Mortal Kombat, absolutely cracking. So if no one's gonna watch back on that, just Google their outfits for last night. Yeah, it's what New Days were savage. Yeah.
Kofi Kingston had a little scorpion moment as well, where he shouted, "Get over here." And they did like a little tag team move. It was pretty cool as well. I was going to say, it felt like, we both agreed that, the wrong team won last night in terms of going forward for Mania and stuff. Bit of a shame. But I'm just hoping now that the Horror Business kind of get back into that tag team match even. Like, you know what I mean? Because they're after setting up now AJ Styles and Omos against the New Day, which literally came out in air. And I do have my fingers crossed now that the Horror Business, maybe next week, you'll see them kind of go on a tear again and just be like, here, what's the crack here? Like, how was these two lads who aren't even a tag team get the tag team title shot over us? Do you know what I mean? I hope maybe they make it a three-way match. Plus, it'll help out the likes of Omos, because doesn't have that experience yet. So it'd be good to kind of take away.
He should have had matches. He should have had, even for the last 2 weeks, just had him in squash matches, even with jobbers that we've never even heard of. Just to, like Braun Strowman that time when he came in, or Ryback or whatever like that, when he was like, fighting 2 or 3, feed me more. Yeah, they should have done something like that with him. But again, this just feels like, I really like Omos, but it just feels like Vince is like, yes, this is my attraction now for WrestleMania. 7'4". If he fell over, he'd be halfway home, as we say. but it's just that. It'll be good to see. It'll be just a spectacle more than that, especially alongside AJ Styles. But honestly, I think, the they're not going to put the likes of Omos and AJ Styles in against the New Day and not have them win. They're definitely picking up the titles at Mania.
Yeah, I think so. Unfortunately, unless we have the Hurt Business in there, they can get a sneaky win hopefully and go back on top. But that's all I'm hoping for, really, right now. What was I going to say? In terms of our matches that we had last night, we had Riddle against Ali. Solid match as well. I was actually dying to see Ali actually just get in and wrestle. Do you know what I mean? And have a good few minutes. It was a great match. Again, every time Retribution's on the telly, we always talk about it. It's very weirdly booked. It just doesn't have any sort of appeal behind it. And I feel like the way he's pushing the lads away almost now in Retribution, it feels like they're just going to turn on him soon, and they're going to just split them up. Which again poses the question: why even have them to begin with? Like, why even start Retribution if you're not going to do anything with them, which they haven't for months? And if anything, it'd be a good thing for Ali maybe, and then a few of the lads in it like Dijakovic, who was savage obviously in NXT. Maybe he'll go off and do his own thing, and Ali will continue on having great matches because he is great. Like the match itself with Riddle was really good. It just felt literally just like, oh yeah, this match is happening. We know there won't be a title change. We know it's just going to be kind of standard formula. We might get some outside interference. That's what I felt like. I felt like you could have tuned into it. If they do it every week, you'd see the same thing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Well, I don't know if you noticed it, but it was just a little thing that I picked up on in that, not in the match, but just outside of it with Retribution itself with Dijakovic. Did you notice his hair is starting to grow back?
Yeah, seeing that actually, yeah, because he was bald for a while.
So I don't know whether this is like this is the start of them scrapping Retribution.
Yeah, that's a good shout actually.
And then when they do, Dijakovic will actually make his appearance as Dominic Dijakovic with that kind of look. You're not going to go, oh, that's your man, that's that bald fellow of Retribution. You'll kind of have that hair. So I don't know, maybe it's nothing, but you know what I mean? It's not like he needs to go to a barber to get that haircut. Like, I'm bald, shave it in the shower. Like, you know what I mean? So I think there's something there with that. I know it's something small, but I think there's something there with that to say that, yeah, they might be breaking up or everybody's maybe going to go their own way with different look now.
That's a good shout, actually. Yeah, that's a really good shout. Yeah. I think as well, I was actually going to say about the barbers, I was going to be like, sure, the barbers are closed, but not in America, they're not. There's no fucking lockdown, no state of emergency or anything like that. So yeah, they'll be all right. And I just said you can do that in the shower. So yeah, that's a good show. Something to keep an eye on. In terms of other matches, then we had Asuka against Shayna Baszler. Another really good match. Again, though, if Shayna wasn't holding the tag titles, I feel like this could be a great feud because both of these girls can go. Like, do you know what I mean? And like Asuka came out and she was like dominant, scary kind of Asuka that we've seen in NXT. We've seen when she first came up to the main roster, and that's the Asuka that like we want to see. We don't want to see her dancing around acting the bollocks, really. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to see her in a tag team. She's literally above a tag team. Do you know what I mean? She's the Raw Women's Champion. She should be treated as such. The match itself was pretty good though. I did like it, and how aggressive it was, hard hitting. It felt like there was something to prove for both women there, to be honest. And I thought it was pretty cool. What about you?
Yeah, it was a pretty good match. Seeing Asuka's kind of really aggressive, I think, could be teasing a bit of a heel turn to her.
Could.
Which is, I said to you just before this, I wanted to say, bring something up that I think might happen. That one of the lads actually that I work with, Paul, he was saying to me that a long time ago, well, going back a few months ago, Becky Lynch actually gave up her title, handed it over to Asuka.
She did, yeah.
So I know we've been like, oh, is Charlotte going to be kind of Charlotte's like asking for people to prove stuff to her? Maybe Becky could come back and go, I want my title.
Oh.
But she's been out for a while. So that could be one of your Mania matches. Or I think it might be Asuka's like going on that, like, can anybody take me on, blah, blah, blah. Fastlane, we might see maybe Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte. Rhea goes over and then Rhea goes on to face Asuka.
Yeah.
Mania.
Yes, that's some good points there, actually. The Becky Lynch one as well, I wasn't expecting that. Completely forgot that she had
either was I.
Yeah, completely forgot about that. That'd be perfect long-term booking as well, especially with the women's division, how kind of badly it's being booked lately. It's like the past few months, whether it's tag teams or whether it's single stars, it's been booked really, really badly. And it's almost hard to watch, to be honest. So yeah, the Becky Lynch thing, completely forgot about that. Perfect long-term booking. And then to have her come back, and as you said, she's been out for a while. the kid's basically fully grown now at this stage. You know what I mean?
I know. Well, that's what I mean. You have
yeah.
6 months maternity leave, so
Yeah.
And I'm sure she really wants to get back into it. Like, so when was the baby born? I think it was like October or
Yeah, something like that, wasn't it? I think it was. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, something like that. So like she's been out, but if Mania comes around, you're talking about 6 months that I'm sure she's kept fit as well, especially she's with Seth, so she's not missing a step. I wouldn't say. But like this again, I know how bad we've been commenting on the women's division, but look, this could be, and as well, Charlotte, we didn't know what way she was going. So that whole storyline that she had with your one, what's her name?
Lacey Evans.
Oh my God, Lacey Evans. That's just dropped obviously for her being pregnant.
Yeah.
Then she kind of teased last week on Raw with Dana Brooke and oh my God, the other one, can't remember her name.
Mandy Rose.
She's like, oh, you're Mandy Rose, yeah, prove to me, blah blah blah. And now she's not on Raw this week.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking maybe Rhea Ripley or Charlotte is out on Raw next week maybe, and then Rhea Ripley comes out. And then that kind of sets up your feud going into Mania, and fingers crossed then Becky comes back and
that'd be
goes against Asuka.
Yeah, that'd be
it'll just, so you have then 2 matches into Mania, you'd have your, say, tag team women's match, and then you're going to have Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks. Like, that's just opening that women's division straight back up, bringing a massive light onto it. But look, I'm no booker.
That's what I mean. We don't get paid the big bucks for this.
No.
Yeah, but I definitely say Vince is on the phone to Becky. I'd say weekly now at this stage. Do you know what I mean? I'd say definitely is, or he's keeping up with Seth maybe about it. Absolutely. And I think she is keeping fit. I seen a photo of her, and it looked like she was in like the CrossFit gym kind of thing where Seth trains. I think she's holding a baby, so maybe the baby's going to be CrossFit Jesus number 2 as well. Who knows? I was going to say, yeah. We'll ramble on with this then anyway. I'm trying to think now. There was the Bad Bunny part as well. Last night we had Damian Priest squash Jackson Riker in about 30 seconds. Love that.
Shane McMahon and Braun Strowman segment.
Yeah, Shane McMahon and Braun
Strowman. That briefly.
Yeah, get out of town. I am sick of it. Literally, as you said before we came on, you're at the start of a feud by calling someone stupid. Like, that's just ridiculous. Like, especially for men their age. Shane McMahon's 50 something, is he not? Do you know what I mean? Imagine that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know obviously it's wrestling, it's a bit of a piss take half the time, but come on, like, give it over. And then Braun Strowman obviously falling for it. And I again, as I know, it's just a story, but it's ridiculous. You think, like I was only saying earlier on, so you have Braun Strowman and you have Shane McMahon in the ring, and Shane McMahon's talking to him, and he's like, "Oh, you talk like this. Oh, you're a big stupid Braun. This, that, and the other." Realistically, you'd kill him. Realistically, Braun Strowman could take his head off with a clothesline. Like, why even bother? It's not, I'm not saying everything has to be believable. It's wrestling at the end of the day. They're fucking fighting their jocks, like, do you know what I mean? But I mean, turn around and hit him a slap, like, do you know what I mean? And just get rid of him. Why are you having this at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
You know what I mean, now obviously,
like, if my boss called me stupid,
yeah,
I wouldn't be waiting a couple of months to absolutely burst him.
Exactly, yeah. You'd stand up for yourself. And all Braun Strowman was doing was like, yeah, let's have a match, bro, and all this. Then they have a match last night, and you come down to the ring and there's a hopscotch outside of it, and Braun Strowman gets slammed. It's like, am I watching the Kids' Choice Awards here, pal? It was ridiculous. Like, but that's all I'm gonna say about that. Until I see something that kind of catches me eye with it, I'm gonna just
get slime poured all over him and everything. Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, get him on me telly. What else? Yeah, we had the bad
Alexa Bliss, Randy Orton.
Oh my God, forgot about that. This is strange to me. Not that it's an intergender match, that doesn't bother me. It's just the fact that obviously it feels like it's just going to set up the Fiend. Like, they'll be in the ring, Fiend straight away. I would love, I don't know why, I just thought of this earlier, and then I was thinking I might make a video on it, but now I'm just going to give it away anyway, but whatever. I thought it'd be pretty cool the way she keeps saying, like, oh, he'll be reborn, you're going to see him again soon. I would love nothing more than if she was like at Fastlane, and she's like, oh yeah, so as I said, he's going to be reborn, you're going to see him very soon, giggling, this, that, and the other. Lights go off, lights don't come back on, but the music hits, and it's Aleister Black, and it's pure, it throws you through the ringer. Yeah, I'm not even expecting it, but she's not expecting it either. It's nothing to do, like, she didn't know, and it's just Aleister Black then putting his foot down, kind of was like, yeah, I'm sick of not being on the telly, I'm sick of sitting in the back. Do you know what I mean? I'm taking my shot now. I'd love to see that. Now, whether it's with Randy Orton or not, whatever, I don't care, but I would love to see something pure that throws you through the loop like that. I'd literally would jump up and don't even know what I do. Spin kick me telly. I don't know. I'd be shocked, to be honest. But
the only thing that I'm worrying about this is WWE are known to just absolutely screw the pooch.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
With storylines, right? I'm really worried that Randy Orton, all this black stuff coming out of him, is going to be Bray Wyatt in Randy Orton.
Or the ghost of Ric Flair. One of the other. No, yeah, no, it could be, yeah.
And then he's reborn, so Randy Orton ends up becoming the Fiend, and Bray Wyatt comes back. I don't know, but I just really hope it doesn't go down that. But why is he puking all this black stuff up?
I know. Would you not seek medical aid at this stage? Like, you know, he's doing it every week. Go to the doctor.
You see that in horror films, like when someone does that, they end up becoming possessed or something like that.
Yeah. It's going definitely
or like there's a demon.
Exactly, yeah, so. It's definitely going down that. I think another kind of cool thing, again, I'm just thinking of you like, oh yeah, this would be class. Again, I'm just thinking of these things just to kind of make myself feel better about this feud. I'd love if she was like, oh, he's reborn and it's Bo Dallas. That'd be pretty cool as well. Obviously, Bray Wyatt's real life brother. It'd be pretty cool. And then Bray attacks him from behind kind of thing, wins the match fairly easy. Feeds him worms like the Boogeyman or something, I don't know.
Unless they end up going with the likes of Randy Orton, he's in the ring against Alexa, he ends up just getting to the stage where he pukes so much black stuff up, the lights go off, and then Bray Wyatt is just back standing there.
Yeah, actually that'd be pretty cool. Like literally, or that like fucking hell, get this man's stomach pumped. Had one too many Guinness last night. That's what that is.
Paddy's laying on.
Yeah. Imagine. That's something they do at a live event over here. I can guarantee you. I literally, I remember seeing a live event and literally someone was like, "Oh, here's a pint of Guinness." It's like, that's embarrassing, chap. Will you give that over? Obviously, they're gonna do that. They're in Ireland. I can't remember who it was. Like Dolph Ziggler or something. It's like, yeah, it was in the O2 or something. And he was like, "Oh yeah, just want to say thanks very much, guys. I gotta have a pint of Guinness." Like, who? All right,
nerd.
Right. So we'll just move straight on to the main event. I feel like obviously we were touching on Bad Bunny there a second ago. He's entertaining to watch. I'm actually looking forward to this, to be honest. He sold that guitar shop with The Miz last night pretty well. I think he's all right, to be honest. He, as you said earlier, he's actually something to kind of watch and get invested in almost. I mean, he just gave the title away to Stone Cold R-Truth last night, which was a bit mad. But again, it's a nothing title anyway, do you know what I mean? So it doesn't really matter. Yeah, so we'll just move on to the main event. So it was Sheamus against Bobby Lashley. Deadly match. Again, like as we were saying, when Drew is involved, when Lashley's involved, Sheamus is involved, these kind of guys, it's just hard hitting, and that's what it was. Like, I mean, both lads looked great. Again, as I was watching it, I was like, why did you like realistically, what are they fighting over? Do you know what I mean? Apart from obviously the start, and there's a few digs thrown, that's really it. But why would you not have left that Drew and Sheamus match at Fastlane just being number one contendership, and then this one would have had a bit more kind of, I suppose, oomph to it. You know what I mean? You'd be like, oh yeah, you want to see Sheamus look good. You might want to see Drew interfere, stuff like. Do you know what I mean? Drew just sat at ringside, obviously watching the match. As I said, pretty good match, great closer to the show, especially how weirdly booked the show was. I really enjoyed that main event. And like there was some like nasty spots as well, like on the outside. Sheamus got, I think, a back body drop at one stage to the floor. And again, with the big lads, it's harder to watch. I feel like when you hear them hitting the ground, you're like, oh fucking hell, like, because there's a bit of weight on them as well. So, but yeah, like it really was a good match. But again, it just feels like it's, apart from obviously making both lads look good, that's all it really did. It didn't serve anything going forward in the story unless they are going to throw Sheamus into this match.
Yeah.
But all we have to, I suppose, is look forward to maybe Fastlane. They might actually throw that curveball in where they're like, you know, actually, whoever wins deserves that match with Lashley. I'm hoping they do.
Yeah. You can't see it going down the triple threat route. Like, how long is it? About 2.5 weeks to WrestleMania?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Oh no, it's about 3 weeks now, probably. But,
3 weeks. Sorry, 3 weeks. Yeah.
I can't. So hard. Why are they keeping them relevant now? Like, you know, it's just, you can kind of see it leading on to something's going to happen. Someone's going to get screwed out of Fastlane or something like that. Yeah, Sheamus wants his run. Yeah. Drew agrees to it because he's the big man. Yeah.
It's all a bit tame, isn't it, when it comes to like how them three lads are being booked. Like as I said, I wanted Bobby Lashley to go on a tear. I wanted him to beat everyone. I wanted Lesnar to come back and him to make a show of Lesnar at WrestleMania. That's my initial plan. I would have loved to see that because that would have established, like obviously he's established anyway, but I mean, it would have established him as the full time big hard bastard that you can't beat. So I mean, if he beats Lesnar at WrestleMania, but again, obviously they went down the safer route with Drew and Sheamus now. But again, Sheamus is playing second fiddle. So what's the point in him fighting Lashley weekly? Do you know what I mean? It doesn't really make any sense. But again, I'm hoping they might change something slightly. Like just like if they just have them two boys, Drew and Sheamus at Fastlane, if you dangle that carrot almost, that number one contendership, you'll get a better match technically story-wise. Obviously, the two lads go out there and give it all anyway. But I mean, then you'd have something to fight for. Other than that, what are they fighting for? They're already beating each other like the past few weeks. Like so.
Yeah, just filling time. They haven't got any good storylines, so just filling time. Just to WrestleMania now at this stage. Yeah. Hopefully WrestleMania pays off. Like this is I feel like the card that they have now is something that they could have played last year when there was no fans in the arena and stuff like that.
Exactly.
They could have played it because if no one wanted to buy into it on telly, fine. All right, we take the hit, we move on. You have a fucking crowd at it this year.
Yeah. And 45,000 are trying to get
and you're screwing the pooch. There's not Edge and Roman, yeah. Other than that, I'm kind of struggling to see kind of what else is pulling me in. Like, there's no Taker ranting now this year. There's no massive household names that are pulling me in. Like, so unless they just last minute now after Fastlane, the night after Fastlane, they just start pulling big names back in.
Yeah, maybe. It's like, like I remember all the rumors going on before, obviously, the lead up to WrestleMania. Before Royal Rumble, a lot of people were saying maybe we would have got Roman and Rock. We would have got like a few other kind of big time matches, Lashley and Lesnar. We were just saying stuff like that, but it feels like they were after leaving it too late as well now, and as well with the likes of it just feels a bit slapdash, the whole thing, really, to be honest with you. And I'm sure Vince is nervous a bit, not to an extent where he's like, oh no, I'll definitely have a show. Of course he'll have a show. Sure, he had a show when Owen Hart was killed, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? It doesn't bother me. The show will go on. How good of a show it's going to be, that remains the question. And that's what's worrying from a fan's perspective. They have a whole week of WrestleMania, you may as well say. Like Raw, Hall of Fames, 2 nights of TakeOver, SmackDown, 2 nights of Mania, then the Raw after Mania, and the NXT the night after that. Yeah, like 9 days of wrestling straight. So you need to get your arse into gear and book. Do you know what I mean? And book good storylines or something you can get invested in. Like even if they had, say, AJ and Omos now, book that well at least now for the next few weeks. You know what I mean? Don't leave it there, and don't have the same recycled formula. Oh, Omos is beating this fella up outside the ring. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, let AJ stick on the outside and let him in the ring now for next.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
we know what AJ can do. Let's see what he can do now.
Yeah, they give us something to watch. Do you know what I mean? Don't give me something that I could piss around on my phone for 10 minutes. Do you know what I mean? I want to watch that. I want to be invested in leading to WrestleMania. Like realistically, you want people to buy this event. You want people to watch this event. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, it's not good business if you can't book them. If you can't book your biggest show, realistically, like, and you're doing it this long, 37 years now. WrestleMania's gone, and then whatever before that. So I don't know. Overall, wasn't too impressed with Raw. Like the in-ring stuff was great, but story was just felt a bit all over the place. But yeah, hopefully now kind of SmackDown can pick up the slack, and then Raw will get kicked up the arse now on next Monday. But I'm all right if you are to call it quits now on this. Call it a day. Mainly because we actually talked.
Sick of talking about that now.
Yeah, I thought if we just went kind of, instead of going each match and segment by segment, we'd be quicker. I think we're after that go like about 40 minutes or something. So if you,
we didn't. I think we went on at about 5 there.
Oh, that's all right then. That's all right. But if you're watching this, if you're watching this and you enjoyed it, if you watched it all the way to the end and you're hearing this speech, I just want to say I'm going to give you €500. Thanks very much for watching. But see, if you didn't watch the whole thing, you wouldn't have seen that. No, but I'm not going to give you €500.
I haven't got it.
No, I have not got it. So yeah, if you liked the video, give us a like, drop a comment what you thought about Raw last night, or what you think maybe how fast I know shape up, or WrestleMania is going to shape up. Subscribe to the channel if you like what we're doing. If you're not into videos and you're listening to this, give us a like and a follow, or wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Acast. I've said it once and I'll say it again. And Hit us up on the socials as well. Instagram is Discus Lariat Collective and Twitter is the Discus Lariat. Give us a follow over there, drop us a message, whatever you want to do. And then until next time, we will see you later.